Good morning. I hope everyone's having a good day so far. While everyone's jumping on here, I just wanted to walk around and show a few other things that I haven't shown in my yard yet. If this is the first time you are hopping on, then if you want to watch any of my other YouTube videos, I have my YouTube channel, which is Nicole's Minnesota Organics, which I just started. It's only got a few videos on there, but it's a catch-up of the previous weeks if you want to see what you've missed. I'm going to go ahead and let people hop on, and I'm going to turn everybody around and just kind of do a walk around before we get started with the garden. Okay. In our yard, we also have a black walnut tree, which is really cool. It's kind of hard to see. See if I can catch any of the bundles. Yeah, right here. Little black walnuts, they're green right now. Tons of them. They're all just starting to fall off, and my plan with these are I'm going to use the hulls, and I'm going to make a tincture, which is good to get rid of parasites. So one less thing I have to buy, so that's pretty cool. Over here, the bees are finally coming out. We haven't had much flowers blooming in our yard until now, but look at all these pretty honeysuckles. Oh, they're so pretty. And they're vining all the way up this tree here. Over here is kind of a mess. All these roses totally got eaten by the bugs. I'm not sure even what type of bugs they were, but they ate the crap out of most of the flowers. They're pretty much done for. They were pretty for the whole 2 days that they lasted, though. Around the deck, we have all these hostas and all these pretty purple flowers. The bees are loving it, which I'm glad because I haven't seen very many bees this year. It's kind of sad, but they must have all flown away because I walked by. There was tons of them a second ago. Bzz, bzz, bzz. Over here in the corner, it's really, really large, and we have never gotten anything off of it, but it is an apple tree. It's kind of too large. I don't even know how to go about topping it, unless I pay somebody, of course, but it usually produces a few small apples, and they're not very good tasting at all, so I've kind of just given up on that, but my grandpa has an orchard that I actually help upkeep, so it'll be nice to go and pick that this year because them honey crisps are amazing. For anyone who missed it, if you guys are just jumping on, if you want to see any of the previous videos, I do have a YouTube channel started, Nicole's Minnesota Organics, and I think we'll get started with the garden. I'll walk out here. I finally got some of the cages. I still need to pick up the whole rest of the other ones, but these metal cages, they're made out of cattle panel, and they're just bent around in a circle. But these are so much more sturdy and stuff than these other cages that they traditionally sell you for tomatoes. I'm actually going to double stack all of these with zip ties so that they're going to be probably 6 feet, 7 feet. I haven't exactly measured them, so I'm not sure how tall they are. 3 feet about, maybe. But it will look much better. I like that it doesn't look as crowded with these metal ones than when you have all the colored wire ones. It seems very crowded with those, but these ones, I like that you can see directly through the plant and it doesn't seem to block anything out. I'll come in here for a second. Oh, try not to trip over the fence this time like I did last week. 2 weeks ago, I had all this row cleared out, and all these weeds are just growing back like crazy. I got to get mulch down here. I started hand picking. You can see the difference. Woo, we're out of focus here. Focus. There we go. Yeah, you can see here where I started weeding. These poor cucumbers, I neglected them. The weeds took over, and you can see the leaves are in some rough shape. I think they got sun scald from staying wet because the weeds weren't allowing airflow, so they weren't drying very well. But we do have lots of flowers. You can see lots of flowers. And we got our first one over here. It's a little deformed. I'm not sure if this is a Boothly's Blonde or an Armenian. I did not label them. And Any good gardener will know that you need to label your plants, and I kind of sucked at doing that this year, so hopefully I'll learn my lesson and label things better next year. But I was gonna show you, I found yesterday, ooh, over here, look, little cucumbers. There's a couple of them up here. They're so cute and spiky. How cool is that? There we go, focusing. I think next year I may attempt to put all my cucumbers in pots and line them up along the trellis instead of growing them directly in the ground. Because I feel like, because that's why it's kind of, I don't know if you can see why it's kind of mounded up a little bit, because they grow better like that when they have better drainage for the roots. So I think I might try the pots against the trellis next year and just have a whole line of them and see if they grow better. I got all these weeds. I've been trying to get through them. I'm trying to unbury all these sunflowers. Thank you, Whitney. They're finally starting to get tall. And all the peppers. I broke one the other day on accident. Boo-hoo. And these ants, I gotta bring out the diatomaceous earth again. Try to get rid of these suckers so they don't get rid of my plants for me, because I want to eat off of them later. I did start some peppers, and I'll show you that in a minute. They're up on the deck. I'm trying to clear out this grass. Great thing about beans is they give nitrogen to the soil, so the weeds are going extra crazy in this row, but I actually got a huge bundle of beans off these yesterday, and you can see, I mean, they're all over in here. Little ones and big ones. I can come through and pick again. We're going to start getting probably a steady harvest off of these. I'm just waiting. You can see there's flowers on the pole beans starting. Ooh, this trellis is really just thriving now. Wow. It's crazy how fast things grow. Given a little love, sunlight, and water, and finally got these rows weeded out. And the cool thing about this, I had just thrown down a pile of seeds, but these are actually the size now where when I go to thin these out to make sure that they have enough room to grow, I can actually take these leaves and eat them as baby greens. So I can make myself a cool salad tonight with all these kale leaves. And even the cabbage leaves too, because those are good too. I've been eating the Brussel sprout greens. I'll walk back over here for a second, but these Brussels sprouts are getting big too. And the bugs are getting them, but they're still good to eat. The Brussels sprouts actually grow all the way around the stalk, and as this grows, you break off the leaves just like this. And you can totally just eat these in a salad or cooked like collard greens or whatever. I use them in stir fries and soups. My bearded dragon loves them. Anyways, I'll bring you down here. The bugs are eating my ground cherries. It's hard to see through all the weeds, but oh my goodness. I need to get some like neem oil or some type of something for these bugs. But the fruit looks like they're producing lots. I got one yesterday. They're still kind of little and they're not very ripe yet, but we'll see. There's, ooh, a little flower. Look at that. That's pretty. We got all the radishes. I have never grown radishes before, and I'm wondering if I might need to come and thin these out some more, because these ones get a lot bigger than regular radishes do. And when I'm looking down here, the roots of them that are supposed to be swelling, they're looking kind of dry and woody, and they're kind of crowded. See, like, I don't know if you can see the difference between this root and this root. This root looks like a nice healthy thick root, but this one is thin and woody kind of looking. So I think I might need to come and thin these out so that they can grow to their full potential. But these leaves are edible and delicious, so lots of greens. You can put in smoothies and stir fries and soups. All the carrots are starting to make a rebound. I got my drip irrigation on, so it's a little wet right now, but wanted to get that done before the heat of the sun comes out. We got our rows going. Okay, I'll try not to trip over the fence climbing over it this time. Okay, we are safe. I'll walk up on the deck. We got lots of stuff growing up here too, and also I'll show you the seeds that I started only 10 days ago. Here, I'll show you the seeds first. These were started 10 days ago. They're a little leggy and fallen over. I must not have had my grow light close enough to them. So when we put these in a little bit bigger starter pots, then we'll have to just bury it up, partially up the stems so they're not so leggy, because you can see they kind of just fall over and they're not going to be very strong. But we got a row of broccoli and cauliflower. That cool stuff. I'm so excited for that. We got the kohlrabi. Another row of Brussel sprouts. And then all these, I got 2 each of all the peppers started again, because my other ones are kind of stunted, so just in case they don't produce well, I want something that'll give me some before the end of the season comes. So, all right, I'll walk over here with you. All these herbs I've had to trim down every few days because they're starting to take off and we don't want them to bolt or go to seed just yet. We will harvest seeds for next year, but I'd like to get as much out of these as I can, and I got bags in my fridge full of herbs. That lemon balm is so good. Oh, you can't even catch the color of this purple out here in the sun. Yeah, it's so pretty. And the sage, I can smell it every time I walk by it. It's so good. And the tomatoes, we got little flowers. Okay, here we got the tomatoes. Here, we can't see them. The sun is awful right now. There we go. I think these might be the speckled Romans, so I guess we'll have to find out. And these ones, there's still a few beans on here. We still got some flowers, but I think these are coming to the end of their days. These have been going for a few months now, and I've been collecting steady off of these. Got some beans under here. I'm pull off. I'm probably going to use all these pots for my broccoli and cauliflower. And then when the beans have run their life out there, then that's where the rest of my kohlrabi and all that stuff will go. I'm going to keep my peppers in pots like this one, so that just in case the frost comes before we harvest, that we can bring them inside and put them under our grow lights so that we can still get a harvest from them. Healed the potatoes. It's not quite to the top. I need to get some more dirt. I still have just a few more plants to transplant if they don't die on me first. I can only do so much, but it's coming along great, and it's just growing beautifully. I'm gonna walk out here one more time. Oh, I totally forgot, guys. The raspberries. I think I might have picked all of them yesterday, but we had a ton. They were all hiding, of course. Oh, we still got a few. I see them. So good. How beautiful that is. And they taste just as good. There's 2 plants here. There's early season and a late season. And you can see that this is the late season. They're just starting to make flowers. So those will start making some soon, and these will start wrapping it up. We've probably only gotten like a total of 25 raspberries, so hopefully they'll start producing a little bit more, but it looks like there's lots of flower buds still going on, so I think we still got a lot of ways to go in the season. These are all the weeds, guys. I gotta take care of these. It's out of control. I don't know if you can even see these white planters that are buried in here. They used to be used for chicken feed, but when we found out we couldn't have chickens anymore, I planted strawberries in them, and then they all died. So that was a learning experience too. I had, hold on, I'll walk out front with you too. It's weed galore out here. But in this front bed here, I had blueberries planted, but those died too. You can tell they're just sticks in the ground now. I'll have to try again with that. I guess they need a very acidic soil, so. Oh, sorry, I just saw your comment, Whit. The laws changed, I think in 2014, they changed it so you can't have livestock directly in town. Because I literally, I don't know if you can see, but cut out there for a second, sorry. The primary school is literally like right there at the end of the road. So like we're right in the middle of town. But this, it's all weeds. Of course, everything's always weeds. But this front corner here, I'm going to put a bunch of flowers and attract some pollinators. It was cleared out at one point. Then the milkweed took over. I guess that'll attract pollinators too. I'm not quite sure what this is, but it was a tree stump that was there. And it's kind of taken off. It has a mind of its own. I suppose it's just like any plant. It's going to grow and grow and grow and find a way to survive. Ooh, this bush out here. I keep trimming it down to the bottom of my window, but it just keeps growing and growing. It's some type of orange blossom. It doesn't actually produce fruits, but the flowers are very, very, very fragrant. And you can smell it like several houses down. It's actually pretty awesome. It's one of my favorite things in the yard, I think. Walk back around. We got some flowers here. Everything's finally blooming. I'm not quite sure what this is either, but it has a bunch of white flowers in the springtime. The lady that lived here before us had a jungle of all sorts of array of different things, so we've removed a lot, we've added a lot, and it's just a work in progress. There's not a whole lot else that I think I can show you this week, guys, so until next time, just keep growing.